Hey everybody. Well, it's been a long time since, I guess about 3 months since I've been on YouTube. I think the last video I made, I was sitting right about here. What happened was, I guess 3-4 months ago now, I was out cutting trees down, splitting firewood. The videos are on my channel, and then I made the one sitting here. And what happened was I started getting winded, doing at least a little bit of exercise. I wanted to get all that firewood stacked. I never did get it stacked. I started getting winded and couldn't figure out why. So I went to the county health department, got blood work done, made an appointment with my family doctor, went down to him, and he said, your white cells are low and your red cells are low. I don't really know what they're supposed to be, but mine were a little over 100, my white cells, and the red cells I have no idea. But the red cells are what carries oxygen. When he put the little clamp on my finger, it showed 98% oxygen, but it just wasn't being able to be used because the red cells weren't carrying it to where it needed to be carried. So anyway, he made an appointment for 2 weeks for me to come back and have blood work done at his lab. So I went to, this was just right about Christmas time. So I went, had his blood work done, and he called me from his house New Year's Eve about 7 o'clock in the evening and told me, if you pardon my French, to get my ass to the emergency room. So my wife called an ambulance, and off we went to the emergency room. And we got to Murphy, and they looked at me and said, well, they had nobody there, that because it's a small regional hospital, that could help me out. They asked me if I wanted to go to Erlinger Hospital in Chattanooga, or I'm trying to remember the name, it'll come to me in a little while, the hospital in Asheville. I chose Asheville because I have some bad thoughts about Erlinger and Chattanooga with what happened with my son-in-law and his cancer. So anyway, they had an ambulance come from Asheville, pick me up in Murphy, and drive me the 2.5 hours to Mission Hospital in Asheville. I can't say enough good things about that hospital. The nurses there were, each patient they treat you like you're the only patient they have, and the doctors were the same way. Anyway, they diagnosed me with leukemia. I asked the doctor what caused it. They said, nobody seems to know. At any rate, one of the nurses, when I was talking to her one evening, said that they're having more and more men, not so much the women, but more and more men my age, I'm 76, and a little younger and older, of course, coming in with basically the same problem. They didn't know what was going on. But at any rate, I spent a week there. They stabilized me, and then I spent 7 days of very heavy chemotherapy. I don't recommend that for anybody if you don't need it. It's not something you want to do on a whim. The food tastes terrible after that. I tried drinking coffee, which I dearly love. It tasted like tin. I lost a little over, almost 25 pounds while I was in there. I don't know whether you noticed. And my mustache is gone. Most of my beard is gone, and a lot of my hair is gone, and it's still coming out. Whoops. Got some just came out. That's why I'm wearing a hat. At any rate, they give you chemo, which kills all the cells, good ones and bad ones. So you're very susceptible to catching anything. I mean, you can catch a common cold and die from it. So every time we go out, I have to wear my little mask, and my rubber gloves. So we've been sitting at home most of the time. Let's see, I lost my train of thought, the senior moment. Anyway, the food tastes terrible. I don't know whether it was, my wife said that the hospital food basically tasted terrible. The hospital was great, the nurses were great, the doctors were great. The food wasn't that great. I mean, they tried to, whatever I asked for, they tried to get me, but it just didn't taste like anything that I've ever tasted before. Excuse me. At any rate, if anyone is ever having any of those symptoms that I explained, I would go see your family doctor right away. At least in my age group, because, like she said, they're seeing more and more for some reason. Now I took a bunch of pictures with my phone of the nurses, and I think I got all the nurses and all the doctors, which I'll post in this video. They were absolutely wonderful. My true angel was my wife Elizabeth, who, for the 7 weeks that I was in the hospital, slept on a recliner right alongside my bed. And she's the one who got me through this. Right now, the doctor says I'm in remission. I'm home. We've been home since last Sunday. It was Sunday a week ago. Once a week I have to drive to Franklin, North Carolina, which is about 45 miles, and have blood drawn, and every second week I see the doctor. Well, last week I had blood drawn. Yesterday I had blood drawn. Next Tuesday I go see the doctor in Franklin and have him tell me what's going on with it. Like I said, when I left the hospital I was in remission. I hope I'm still in remission. That would be a really wonderful thing. Because the doctor up in Asheville told me that if I hadn't done something, probably within 2 weeks, I'd have been meeting my long past relatives. Not something I want to do. I mean, I've had a good full life, and I enjoyed most of it. Made a few mistakes along the way, but I'm not ready to give up the ghost yet. At any rate, once again, I can't say enough good things about Mission Hospital in Asheville. They were absolutely wonderful. What do you want, Mandy? What do you want, girl? I'm going to cut this part off now, and I'm going to splice in some of the pictures. And yeah, there's a picture of me in the bed, too, with I think there's only 7 IV bags hanging on me. At one time I had 11 at one time. Not a fun thing. Oh, yes, the other day I saw my neighbor walking his dog down the road, and I walked out to him, and he said, "Oh, boy," he said, "you lost a lot of weight." And I said, "Yeah," I said, "if you want to lose weight, that's not really the way I would recommend doing it, because I lost 25 pounds. Okay, well, you take care. I'll get back to you with some pictures and maybe a little bit more explanation for a little further down the road. Thanks for watching. Anyway, for the last 3 months, that's basically where I've been. Mission Hospital in Asheville, North Carolina. Thanks for watching. Bye.